Let's talk about medical marijuana because a group of bipartisan senators introduced a bill that will legalize marijuana and effectively end the federal war on cannabis. The legislation will make medical marijuana legal in the U.S. on a state-by-state basis and was introduced by the senators Cory Booker, a Democrat from New Jersey, presidential hopeful Rand Paul, a Republican from Kentucky, and Kirsten Gillibrand, a Democrat from New York. They all introduced the Compassionate Access, Research Expansion, and Respect the States Act, which will end federal actions against state legal medical marijuana programs. The bill recognizes the ability of the states to pass their own laws, like Alaska, California, Washington, Colorado, all of which have enacted with laws that go against the federal law. Nick, this is very, very important because it's not that we're legalizing marijuana all across the country. We're just recognizing the state capability to make their own laws. And to this, Senator Booker, this is a quote that he gave: "Doctors and patients deserve federal laws that are fair and compassionate, and states should be able to set their own medical marijuana policies without federal interference. I am thankful for Senator Gillibrand and Paul, as well as the Drug Policy Alliance, for their hard work on this common sense bill to make medical marijuana accessible to the millions of Americans who could benefit from it." This is great. I think this is a step in the right direction. I think that what the bill entails is that we're going to end federal rates. We're going to reclassify marijuana from a type 3, a Schedule 3, Schedule 1 drug, and we're going to make it either Schedule 2 or Schedule 3. What does this mean? This means that federal funds can be used for research, which is very, very important. I think for me, this is one of the biggest positive impacts that this bill, if passed, will have, is that we're going to be actually able to research this at a federal level and see how much is the medical benefits of it. What do you think?
Yeah, it clarifies a lot of things because before you saw, in the beginning, when medical marijuana first came to California, for example, you saw that it was legal on the state level, but at the federal level, it was still illegal. So there was a lot of confusion here, and it wasn't a real clear cut, is it legal, is it not? Yeah. It's kind of this tricky in-between kind of thing, loophole sort of thing, and this is going to make it a lot more simple. Another thing that we saw recently was this study that linked medical marijuana. They didn't say medical marijuana, but they said high-potency marijuana, medical marijuana. Yeah. It's the good stuff. They said that 1 in 5 new cases that are coming out in the UK are all responsible to people who are coming from people who smoke weed every single day. So we're seeing a really high, sharp increase in people young people, important to mention, that are getting things like schizophrenia and other psychotic diseases. And I kind of thought to myself, could this kind of curb this whole momentum that's building? Yeah. Not only in this country, but across the world. We see Uruguay and other countries coming through. Now Paraguay, there's even talks there. But I thought maybe that could have some slowing down, maybe some impact. But it seems that the ball is rolling, and actually a lot faster. Yeah, a lot faster than I thought. When we first heard that, oh, it's Colorado, what's next? And it was kind of, I was like, maybe 5-10 years down the line. But man. I mean,
there's these two main issues. One, the states that have made marijuana legal in the recreational level, the main impact is the taxing of it. You know, the states are being able to tax marijuana that is being used recreational. But this bill is very important because it allows access at a different level. The moment that the federal government accepts this power of the states to enact these laws, then, say, doctors, government doctors that are treating veterans for depression, they can prescribe marijuana. Now, banking. You know, all these medical marijuana institutions, they cannot do banking like any other business because of the federal laws. Yeah. If they pass this bill, they will have full access to the banking system, which make things more transparent.
They had to deal everything with cash, these dispensaries.
Cash, and they have to find local credit unions to do their banking, which allows for a lot of gray areas.
And a lot of crime, obviously, knowing that they got thousands of cash.
Then there's this other element of this bill that is very interesting to me, that is the fact that a Republican like Rand Paul is behind it. And why is he behind it? He's a presidential hopeful from a party that normally do not support this type of libertarian bills. But the important part here is that he is behind the angle of federalism, that the states have the power to decide. I think that also for him is that he's going to become very appealing to the younger voters
Yeah.
in the next election. But at the same time, he's going against the main base of Republican voters that are older than 54 white men that might not be supporting this type of access or this openness to medical marijuana.
That's his approach. We'll see if it works or not, but who knows? I mean, either way, I think it's very beneficial for a lot of people. Young people who are going to support him just because he supports marijuana, and also for people who actually really need it, like vets and people.
Yeah. Well, to this, Taylor West, the deputy director of the National Cannabis Industry Association, had this remark to say about Rand Paul. I think it's very smart on Rand Paul's part. He takes a visible stand on an issue that others in his party have been hesitant to embrace, which sets him apart. But it's an issue that has a huge popular approval and is grounded on legitimate federalist philosophy. So as we see, we're seeing that even Republicans are getting behind these issues that most of the country support. We've seen in the polls that more than half of Americans support legalization of marijuana. We want to know what you think. This is going to help to make marijuana mainstream, or are we just going to see more taxing to something that a lot of people like to do? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed to the Lib TV.